Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Apollo Justice. Lamiroir here has just been attacked by something, and she's currently at the hospital, slightly shaken up, but she's willing to talk to us for the time being to ask us to tell us what the heck happened.
It was after I spoke with you in front of the dressing room. I sensed someone approaching. I thought it might be someone come to see me, but they said nothing. When I went to return to my dressing room.
You were hit?
I knew. That very moment I knew. The assailant was trying to kill me. It was lucky for me, the first blow did not knock me out. I turned and ran for the stage. Someone was chasing me. I could hear footsteps. Yet, I reached the stage first.
Why the stage?
I had overheard maintenance people talking. The power to the stage area was off, they said, for electrical work.
Oh!
Darkness is my ally. There was a contrabass case near the stage. That is where I hid.
So the assailant couldn't see you?
Once in the case, I'm afraid I passed out.
Wow, that sounds like a really close call. Do you have any idea who it might have been?
Unfortunately, no. Whoever it was, they said not a word.
Too bad.
Yet, when I consider that I was struck high on the forehead, I must conclude that whoever hit me was taller than I am.
Good point. She's sharp. And you're much taller than I am. You're about as tall as Apollo. So that means it was likely an adult, and probably a man. Could it be him? But why would anyone attack you, Lamiroir?
The detective asked me this too. And to her I gave the same answer I give to you. I do not know.
Well, the other thing we need to talk to you about since we have you... Tell us anything about this weird thing. Lamiroir, I wanted to ask you about this. Do you know what this is?
This is what?
Mr. Lotus was carrying it. It's a replica of the thing he was after.
He was after?
You know, in his secret identity. As an undercover agent.
So, that's what he was doing.
You mean, you know what?
Yes, I know, of course. This must be a Bohemian cocoon. Or rather, a convincing replica thereof.
Why haven't I heard of a Borginian cocoon before? Why would he be carrying this around? Was it some kind of souvenir?
I wonder.
Well, now we have more stuff we can talk to you about. The Borginian cocoon.
Well, they call it Bohemian. It must only be found in Bohemia. For certain, all in Bohemia know of these.
It's a cocoon, so do you get silk from it?
I do not know the details, I am sorry to say.
I thought she said all in Borginia knew of these.
There is one fact I do know about the cocoon, though. Something all in Bohemia know.
What's that?
The cocoons, they are not to be taken out of the country. If someone does and is caught, they will be put to death.
To death? Why?
I do not know. Yet, if Interpol was involved, I'm sure there's a good reason.
But this is just a piece of plastic. Was carrying a replica, but looking for the real deal. That's my best guess. So that's what he was up to? Tracking down Borginian cocoon smuggling. Smuggling?
It seems I was marked.
Marked?
Life changed for me with the popularity of my songs. I began to travel around the world.
Oh, so you could have brought those Borginian cocoons with you.
On my trips, yes. That was probably the suspicion.
And Mr. Latouche was placed as an undercover agent to look into it.
Bohemia is a small, sheltered country. Not many of our people venture into the world outside.
Is that why they suspected you? But Mr. Latouche wasn't a Borginian, was he? He was an Interpol agent, which means... What, Apollo? Well, there must have been some reason other countries didn't want the cocoons out. Something scary enough to get Interpol involved. Huh? Like what? How could such a tiny ball of thread cause such a commotion? Cocoon smuggling. And Mr. Latouche had Lamar marked. Huh. Couldn't be her. Huh? There's one other person I need to talk to. Thank you for talking to us, Lamar.
It was the least I could do.
Actually, I have another request.
If it is within my power.
I need an interpreter, someone who speaks Borginian. Apollo? Would you come with us, if you're well enough?
I see. Yes, of course. I shall accompany you.
Huh? Where are we going? Come on, Trucy. We're about to get to the bottom of this. Uh-oh. Machi. Machi, did you have something to do with this? Machi, we came to talk to you about the case.
Nahi.
Could you interpret for us, Lamar?
Yes.
Machi, I'd like to talk to you about when we first met. When we still thought you were blind. Now we know the truth. You can see, right? I was completely fooled myself. Machi, isn't there another secret you're hiding from us?
Wait, Mr. Attorney. What do you mean by secret?
What do I mean by secret? Well, did you have something to do with this? If I'm not mistaken, you know something about this, don't you? Oh, that was quite a reaction. Hey, you got a reaction. A big one.
Mahi, you didn't.
Trucy and I are trained to see people's uncertainty. Not that we would have needed any training to see that one.
Mr. Attorney, please tell me what this is all about.
Mar, please, interpret.
Very well.
I know you know something about this by your reaction. If you don't tell me, I might have to give it to the prosecution. And have them look into it.
He asks you to wait, do not be so hasty.
Machi?
Do you know everything?
Yes, everything. Well, sort of. Have him tell us about it.
Very well.
Alright, let's finally talk to him. Actually, can I present my badge?
Mahi, he is upset he could not speak with you.
Well, let's hear him out before he gets grumpy, Apollo. Well, at least we got something else this time. The cocoon. What is this cocoon anyway?
The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure.
A cure? It must cure some disease.
It is a cure for incuritis.
Incuritis? How convenient. A cure for incuritis? But if it's a cure, why keep it in Virginia like that? Just think of all the lives that they could save by sharing the medicine.
I do not understand the reasons myself.
Okay, well, at least we know what it is. A cure. And Mr. Latouche was after cocoon smugglers. Wait, was Machi?
Mahi, you weren't.
He couldn't be a smuggler. He's so little. Well, you're only 15, and you're sort of magician, aren't you? Well, that's true. I am sort of magician. She said sort of. Oh, to have a copy of that security camera tape. Well, Machi, are you a smuggler?
He won't tell me.
First he plays blind, now he plays dumb. I wonder, do you think he brought a cocoon here to sell it to someone? If Machi really did bring one into the country, was he planning on making a deal for its sale?
I can't go home.
Can't go home?
I can't go home to Bohemia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Bohemia is death.
That's right, it's punishable by death.
About the case? What about the case?
He wants to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death? The meeting's over. Oh. Darian? What do you mean? Visiting hours aren't over yet. There's a call for Machi from the Borginian embassy. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait! I never liked you either. Either of you. Huh? That was suddenly very forward. Darn it! We were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. Didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. Apollo! And there can be only one reason why. Why is everyone ignoring me? Oh, sorry. This is it. I know who I'm after now. It all happens tomorrow in court. To be continued. We are indeed continuing. Haha. And we're not saving because we haven't gone. Just in case something happens to the footage, right? Anyway, July 10th, 9:49 in the morning, in the lobby number 2. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry, no go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait! I never liked you. Either of you. Huh? That's not a red flag that you're the bad guy. I don't know what is. Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo. Didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Whoa. Ah! What was that? I have no idea who's talking. Who's that talking? Oh! Valiant Grammary. He's in the door like an average muggle, no less. Apollo is a Harry Potter fan, apparently. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valiant? A preposterous proposition. How could I stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Oh, with vanishing magic? Indeed! I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? A grand grammary glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. Alright. And there he goes. He sure seems happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things like elephants or the Eiffel Tower. Anything, really. So he was talking about what we saw at the concert. The Mars disappearing act. And the Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it. Being at the root of all that has happened. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled starting time of the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. What? Okay. Huh? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. And now we start to make the connection. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. The Chief Justice's son. Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the trial. There's an article about it in the newspaper. If you care to read about it yourself. Don't mind if we do. Incuritis? Where have I heard that before? I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page for me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. Now we've come full circle why the cocoon was smuggled in. July 10th, inside courtroom number 3. My apologies for the delay. A court is now in session for the trial of... how do you say this name again? Machi Tabae, a suspect fortissimo. Right, it's his trial. In any case, the defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor? No. Well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Curitis, was it? That article said there is no known cure. Herr Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche. Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help. Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out.
Hold it! Wait! That voice just now. It was him. I am sure of it.
It was him?
That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latouche, when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darien.
No way! Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darien would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darien Crescent is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet, after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case, or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Herr Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us reveal the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamiroir, and Machi, along with a drummer and basses, for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamiroir and the defendant, Machi Tabai, had left the stage at that point, and the Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when two shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Sky, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lamiroir herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. When she claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crescent talking. But that's impossible! Detective Crescent was... Precisely. Detective Crescent was on stage, getting his groove on, no less. Voila! A perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something there. Something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darien Crescent's alibi has been acknowledged. Which means that Lamiroir was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections. Uh-oh, Apollo, if he declares a verdict now... Ugh, but Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamiroir might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center?
About the case? What about the case?
He wants to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death. The meeting's over. Oops, sorry, I ended up muting that mic by accident. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him, under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant, what was his name again? Your Honor! No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise, or, Mr. Justice? Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now... Now I'm giving him the German accent. A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tabaye to the stand.
What? But he doesn't speak English.
We'll use an interpreter.
Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as I love you and where is the toilet?
Very important words to say. The defense would like to request Lamar as the interpreter.
Lamar? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant.
But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie?
This is most unusual. Bravo, Herr Forehead. Herr Judge, the prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamar lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal.
Finally, some progress.
Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamar to the witness stand. I suppose there is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name, to begin with, if you would, Lamar.
Yes. He says, Machi Tabaye, the defendant.
This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really need an interpretation of that message in particular.
So far, so good.
Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would.
Huh? If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What do I want him to testify about? I hadn't thought that far yet. Good job, Apollo. Apollo? Aren't you gonna ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he was saying?
Excuse me, a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lamar.
Just now, Machi said that there is something about which he wishes to testify.
Machi wants to testify about something? What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please.
The suspense is killing me.
What?
What? What?
Well, Lamar?
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What?
This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it! This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Machi, please testify to the court.
Very well. He says that word of Mr. Letus's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, I, that is he, could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely. I wonder what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamiroir to know the meaning of that song.
Lamiroir, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked.
Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamar might be protecting the witness. Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony. I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where.
So I guess we're gonna have to perceive at some point, which we'll do that in the next video since we are kind of cutting it It's maybe like 2 minutes off or something like that, but I don't really want to start going into the testimony and just save it up for the next video. So I'll see you guys then!